Okay, so you guys, we are to a point where, guys, look how cute he is. He's all dry. All right. So I think I made a piñata a long time ago, but it's been a really long time, and I just am figuring out with you guys right now how to get the candy inside and hang it. So the one thing about hanging it is that there's gonna be a lot of pressure in that one spot, so I'm gonna show you something that I think will work to make it a little bit stronger. Okay, so first of all, this is the front of the piñata. Obviously I don't want to have a big hole like right here for the candy to go in, so I'm going to go to the back. Okay, so I'm just going to cut a hole right here, so that what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a hole so that I can both put candy in there and so that I can reach inside and figure out where the top is, so that I can make a hole for the string to be in the top part. For this video, I'm just going to do the hole really quick. You could, and what we're going to do is we're going to experiment with this one because I can't do it first and then show you because I only have one piñata. So what I'll try first is you can try to make a flap door. So I'll try to cut around a little bit of the space and then leave the top open. But depending on how it opens, if it's too hard for it to open like that, then I'll just have to cut the whole thing out and cut out a hole and then reattach it, okay? So, it's kind of tricky to show you. Let me see if I can get you guys to see it from right here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a pencil and I'll just draw. I think I want my hole, yeah, I want it to be in the back. You want it kind of, the other thing is you probably want the hole kind of high up because that's gonna be it's going to be a weaker spot because it has a hole in it, or it at least had a hole in it. So if you do a hole right here and try to load the candy from down here, then if you're hitting it, it might just open up here instead of just actually hitting the thing open. So you want to make sure that you basically want the hole to be somewhere that the candy's not sitting on the hole, or whatever's inside is not sitting on the hole. So if I put the hole up here, right, and the candy is going to be sitting around here. It's not going to be full enough for this to be totally bursting open. So, let me see where I want it. I'm going to make my hole. Also has to be big enough for the candy or whatever you put in it. It has to be big enough for that if you would do prizes or whatever. It has to be big enough for those things to fit in, and it has to be big enough for your hand to fit in to do this work on the top for the hanging thing. So I've got to think about that before I draw it. I'm going to do a hole, let me see. So if I do a hole like this, my hand can fit inside that, but it might be a little bit tight. I might just do it a little tiny bit bigger so that my hand can fit in there pretty comfortable, so that I can move around. All right, so we're going to try this together. Okay, so I get now this is where I'm going to wear gloves because, as you guys may remember, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I have a big scar right here, right there from cutting my hand. And you remember I got gushing blood last year from cutting my hand open from a project. So this time I'm going to wear gloves and hopefully not cut myself. Now listen, before you start, this is an X-Acto knife. I really did have gushing blood out of this, and anyway, it was kind of a crazy thing that happened, but you cannot use this unless your parents have said you can use it. Please talk to your parents. You may not even have one of these, I don't even know, but ask your parents before you start what you can use to cut this box. You can probably just cut, you probably could just cut, poke a hole with scissors and then cut around. It will be harder just because of the movement of scissors. But you're only allowed to use what your parents say you're allowed to use, okay? Got it? So don't just start with this. This is very, very dangerous. I've used it lots of times and I even hurt myself last year. So here we go. I'm going to do it really slow and easy. Oh, did you guys hear that? That was the balloon inside. It was still not popped yet. I'm going to follow really carefully and slowly along that line. So slow. I'm just going in and out, not big. I'm not going all the way in and out of here. It's just little tiny back and forth so that this doesn't slip. Now, you have to think about the angle of your hand too. Now this is, it's too hard for my hand to keep going up like this. It's awkward for my hand. So I'm gonna stop it here and I'm gonna go up to here. Or you can just turn your piñata, like if you want to. I just can't hold it like this, but if you wanna turn it around. I'm doing mine over here because it's a little bit hard to put it on this table because mine has a trunk. Yours might be easier to put on the table. So I'm gonna come up here, start at the top again. That part's really strong. I felt it. Really slow and easy. And now I have to match up with that one spot. Really mellow, okay? Okay, so I got to that point. Gonna use this or something else to see if it'll open. Now this is the way you can do it if you want just a door that is a flap door. But this is really not working for mine. I'm trying to open it and it really doesn't want to open. So I'm gonna have to cut the whole thing off, okay? And I'll figure out how to attach it. Let me get my, so I'll cut it off. I'm gonna make it a full circle. And this part won't matter. I know I have lines on it, but it won't really matter because you'll be painting it or whatever you do to decorate yours. You guys can decorate it however you want. I will be spray painting it. That is the fastest. So I'll be spray painting it. You can paint it with acrylics or with tempera, or you can, a lot of piñatas have, what's it called, tissue paper on them. That looks like a lot more work to me. You guys can do that if you want to. It's up to you. I'm not going to. Okay, so I'm going to cut the rest of this. Now I just had to make sure that the blade's going the right way. Sometimes it's hard to tell on these. Okay, so nice and easy. Really, really small up and down. Do not do big up and down because that loses control of the blade. Really tiny cuts. Okay, now this is starting to act kind of funny. You know what? Actually, I might do that. It's opening now and it's not going to fall off. There is a chance it'll fall off when I'm working with it, but it started to open on its own, so I'm going to leave it like this so that I can get my hand in there, and then I don't have to make a little flap for it. If you need to, you guys can go all the way around. What I was going to do is just make another paper mache strip. After I took the whole circle off, I was going to put the circle back on and make a paper mache strip that goes like this, that is a strap that goes like this so that it can open like this. Or you could do it with like a ribbon or with, you know, dry paper. You could even glue a piece of paper on there and have it so that it flaps open, okay? But this worked for me. Now I'm gonna reach inside and here's my balloon. All right, I'll show you guys this part in just a second, okay?